So I'm just gonna put some question marks up there because I don't know who's playing. And oops. Oh man. Overlay troubles. Whatever. I'll just leave it. So yeah, C played Broodor in the matchup yesterday. Did not do so well, and looks like he's actually gonna be playing against Skyhigh here. Now, as far as I know, neither of these players switched races. Let me just double check this. So it is going to be a TBT, I believe. Yes, in fact, both players are still Terran in StarCraft 2. Now, it's very interesting. Skyhigh was a TBT specialist in Brood War. Now, I don't know if that's going to translate over to StarCraft 2 or not. I mean, TBT in Brood War and StarCraft 2 are completely different ball games. In TBT and Brood War is all about the mech play, tank Goliath, doing some dropship play. Occasionally you see players going Wraith tank even, but it's really, it's a lot more. I'm not quite sure what to call it. It's what am I trying to say here? SE2 is a lot more faster paced, I think, in the sense that there's a lot more bio play. Like Marine tank, I think, is the standard. So you're going to be doing medevac drops with Marines all over the place, and the Stim Marines by themselves are extremely mobile. Whereas in Brood War TVT, you don't have really that big mobile ground force. I mean, you can do some Vulture harass here and there, maybe do some Wraith harass, some occasional Vulture drops, but not nearly to the extent as in StarCraft 2 TBT. So let's see what happens here. The first map is going to be Antigua Shipyard. Better change my overlay as well. Now, a slight disclaimer, of course, I am not exactly a StarCraft 2 expert here, unfortunately. That is why I brought Poke Bunny on yesterday to co-cast me and be the SE2 pro. I am a Masters League player. Protoss player, so I'm not terrible at least, but yeah, I just haven't really been spending too much time watching GSL or anything like that, so I'm not 100% up to date on the metagame or things like that, but I will do my best, guys. I will do my best. Also, yes, I am occasionally glancing over at the chat, so I'm trying to read a lot of your comments. I have seen some nice well wishes from the chat people, so thank you guys. Thank you guys all for tuning in. I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. And looks like we're just having a bit of commentator babble before we get the game going here. Yeah, let me just think. So I don't think Skyhigh played yesterday, but C's game, unfortunately, he played a TBZ against Sue from SK Telecom. And yeah, he just got 2-hatch muted to death. It was actually quite a sad game. I mean, he was in a good position after holding off an early Ling attack, and then just kind of fell apart to Sue's really nice muta micro. So hopefully he can get a win here and boost his confidence. C, I said it yesterday, I'm gonna say it again. He's a really nice guy. He's really friendly actually with the foreigner community, and yet last season he just really underperformed, so it seemed to be really sad about it. I mean, there was even, I think there was an interview where he said he actually had a good sit down with his coach, and they talked about life and everything, and it was really touching. So yeah, I mean, really rooting for C here. Skyhigh, on the other hand, for you StarCraft 2 fans, I recommend you, if you have any interest in Brood War, one of the series I think you should watch is, I guess I'll spoil it by telling you what it's about, but even with a spoiler, it's awesome. It's Skyhigh's reverse all-kill against CJ, actually. Or, sorry, not CJ, Lake Half. Lake Half Oz. Wait, that doesn't make sense. He's on CJ. No, he can't all-kill his own team. Hey, let me just call out positions first, and I can continue telling that story. Looks like C will be the red Terran at the 12 o'clock position. Skyhigh will be the blue Terran at the bottom position. This is WCS Antigua, so it is forced cross spawns. Anyway, so back to the story. Skyhigh played an amazing series. Basically, it was a Winners League format, which is, I think that's what the GSTL uses. It's an all-kill format, so like winner stays on. And basically, Jaedong was actually not on Team A. Jaedong's on Team A now, but he used to be on Lake F Oz, and he actually came out, killed 3 of the CJ players, and then everyone's just like, oh my god, it's gonna be an all kill from Jaedong, it's terrible. And then Skyhigh comes out, and he's like, and Jaedong 5-fools him or something and loses, but it's fine because he's got 3 more, they're still up 3 games, they just need to win one more game. and then Skyhigh just proceeds to like kill all of his teammates, and Jaedong's face is just like, oh my god, why am I on such a terrible team? Anyway, yes, I see some comments about the 4-3 resolution. Unfortunately, I think that's just, or I hear that's just because of the casting setup. Of course, Broodor is in 4-3 resolution, so OGN right now is just keeping that setup, and it's going to be observing the StarCraft 2 games in 4-3 as well. Hopefully that is something that they're looking at, or I'm sure that's something that they're looking into. Hopefully that's fixed soon. It does look a little bit weird, I do agree. But anyway, looks like a scouting SCV already going out now for C. C was red, right? I think that was C. Anyway, as you can see, he's wiping his hands there. Sweaty hand C. Sorry, I just like kicked something on my computer. Hopefully I didn't break anything. Anyway, yep, scouting SCV coming in here. And is he actually going to see the barracks? I think he's a touch... No, it looks like he's going to see the barracks now. Okay. It looks like Skyhigh tried to do just a cute little trick there, just placing his barracks at the top of his base there, hoping the SCV would run in and not see it, and maybe cause C to panic a little bit and do something silly. But no, nothing of the sort. Looks like he's placing a factory right next to that barracks. But since he's placing it right next to the barracks, it makes me feel like perhaps he's gonna, you know, do a little add-on switch. So maybe maybe make a Tech Labo reactor with that barracks and then switch it out. So you can just have the minimum lifting time. In the meantime, one rack's fast expand from C, and is now taking both of the gases in his main base. And it looks like it is going to be a tech lab here on that barracks. Only one gas though, so I'm not quite sure what Skyhigh is up to here. Man, I really wish my my StarCraft 2 metagame knowledge is a little bit better. Honestly, just like when I watch casts, I personally cannot stand casters who are like purely play-by-play. And oh, it looks like he's actually going for some Banshees here. Instead of lifting the factory and putting it by the tech lab, he's actually just building a starboard there next to the tech, or attached to the tech lab. So that's very interesting. He even faked me out there. So some kind of weird Terran TVT 111 here going on. Let's see what he does with it. It's funny because he only took one gas, so I'm pretty sure he's not gonna have enough gas for cloak. It's just gonna be, you know, one port non-cloaked Banshees with like Marines and Hellions on the ground. I'm not really sure what's going on here. I mean, look, he's continuing to produce Hellions from that factory. The barracks is not blinking anymore, so he's not making any of those. And it looks like, yeah, he is making a Banshee from that starport. The commentator is, you know, showing us cloak, but I mean, on one gas, I'm fairly certain he cannot afford that. And there is the comsat going down on everything here. C sees exactly what's going on. What's going to be interesting though is that, I mean, I wonder if C would assume that there is going to be cloak incoming, because usually when you go Banshees, you do get cloak, right? It was just like harassment Banshees, and yet instead of getting that second gas and getting the cloak, Sky has opted to go for a faster expansion in the meantime, so that's very interesting. Meanwhile, the Hellions just chilling at the front here, but there is a bunker, so they won't really be able to do too much. Either way, he's going to have to do some damage. Sky is going to have to do some damage with this Banshee, of course, since his expansion was significantly slower than C's. And here we go, he's moving in here. Now, what anti-air does C have, actually? Just a few Marines, I think. Stim is actually only just started, it looks like. So, yeah, he's going to have some non-Stim Marines. Going to be difficult. And, oh, it looks like a Hellion run by into the main base. Now, C does have a couple of Hellions of his own, but he could do a lot of damage to these Marines. Looks like, no, never mind. He can actually just do nothing to those Marines. Oh, man, I think that was a very interesting concept. I think the idea was he wanted to run in with the Hellions and like roast all of the Marines, and then his Banshee could just kill everything. Unfortunately for him, that just completely didn't work at all. That was just complete fail there. I mean, he got like one shot off, and then everything died. I don't think he actually killed a single unit with those Hellions. Now taking a second gas in his main base. I think his command center was just there finished. Yeah, finished. Anyway. Looks like C is playing a lot more quote-unquote standard, I guess. He's got a reactor barracks pumping out Marines. He's going to start adding on some siege tanks, presumably, with this factory. And he's got a starport now, so he can get a Viking or two to ward away the Banshees, to help ward away the Banshees, and then get some medevacs. And we do see barracks added on for Skyhigh as well. He's actually got double reactors there, so he's also going for the mass marine play. Standard stuff here. I think, you know, some people have been experimenting with mech play and TVT, but marine tank still a standard. And it looks like a cancelled add-on here on this starport. Decided to, I actually don't know what the add-on was. He started it and then decided, no, I actually want a Viking first to maybe help against the Banshees. Although I haven't seen a second Banshee. Like, we saw the first Banshee just now, did a little bit of damage, not too much, and I actually don't recall seeing a second one, so perhaps that's a little bit strange from Skyhigh. He just like went one fast Banshee. I think, yes, I think that's the original Banshee. It might be a different one, I'm not sure, but really not committing to that harassment at all, and is now actually rallying Vikings kind of behind his main minerals, just keeping them hidden for a second, is adding on a reactor to his starport, so going to be able to produce Vikings and medevacs in double time. It's probably going to be medevacs. A nice observation from stream viewers that he cancelled a reactor because of the value that he got back from the minerals. That's very interesting. Huh, that's cool. Apparently, because he got 38 minerals and 38 gas back from the cancel, so it was a reactor. Nice. I learned something today from the cast. I'm actually gonna, man, this is cool. We should do like an interactive cast of SE2 because I'm like terrible at it. I'll just like, you guys just like keep, you know, writing intelligent things in the chat, and I'll just look at the chat and just like say them and pretend that I actually know what I'm talking about. Yes, it's gonna be awesome, guys. It's gonna be awesome. Anyway, Marines are running out here for Skyhigh. He's got only Marines and one Banshee to support. Meanwhile, it looks like C is going to start sieging into the main base here. Sieging a few tanks on the low ground and going to elevate some units onto the high ground here. Going to be very difficult for Skyhigh to deal with this without his own siege tanks. He's got only Marines, and those Marines I think will get shredded by good siege tank. However, if he can catch, if Skyhigh can catch C with it like kind of in between one of those elevators with like a lot of units in the medevac and maybe snipe some units off, he might be able to do something here, but it is not looking good for Skyhigh. The units moving in, he's regrouping the units in his main base, going to try and go for some break here. The Vikings landing, actually realizing there's actually nothing in the air for them to shoot, so might as well land. It looks like though the counterattack of Marines is going in here. The bunker goes down almost immediately, and actually these Marines doing so much DPS. There is one siege tank in the main base. The SCVs trying to block. There's the stim going down. He's got to be very careful how he uses the stim, of course, because he's got no medevacs with his force. He's focusing down the orbital command. The orbital command is actually going to go down here, and he's also killed so many SCVs. Meanwhile, the attack in the main, is it going to get cleaned up? SCVs, Marines, siege tanks, everything is coming off the line. It looks like Skyhigh is actually going to hold on to his main base here. Unbelievable. Skyhigh, who I thought was in a horrible position, is actually just cleaned up the attack in his main base. He has taken down the natural expansion of C here. C falling apart, getting completely destroyed by the counterattack. His attack into the main base was not good enough. He's cleaned up the units in his natural. Of course, the stim taking its toll on those Marines. You know, with no combat shield and no medevacs to heal them, they get pretty damaged from the from each stim they use. But it looks like C had actually, in the meantime, taken his third base there. So, you know, even though he's lost his expansion, he's still on 2 bases. Unfortunately, I think. You know, he did take a lot of SCV losses as well, so I can't really tell on the due to the resolution what the SCV counts are. It looks like 41 SCVs for Skyhigh, and I honestly, I'm sorry, I just can't tell what that number is on the VOD. But presumably he has fewer SCVs than Skyhigh after that. Although I guess Skyhigh did use his SCVs to help break that attack on his main base, so I actually don't know. Meanwhile, C is retaking his natural there, so once that finishes, he will be on 3 bases again. And if Skyhigh doesn't do something about that, that'll be really nice for C in the long run. Looks like Skyhigh continuing to make a large number of Marines, but still no medevacs. I hope he's at least got combat shields. Presumably he's got combat shields. Oh, dropship going in the main. Looks like gonna get warded away there. Oh my god, he stopped it like in range of the Marines. Whoa, that would have been so bad if he actually stopped it too short and it got taken down. But anyway, yeah, I mean, you know, Marine tank is well and good, but if he needs a few medevacs to help, you know, heal from the stims and whatnot. Looks like, oh, medevac staying barely out of range. The command center about to finish there. And I think Skyhigh is actually taking his own 3rd base. Yeah, he is. So it looks like neither player wants to commit to any craziness here in the mid game. I mean, you know, they traded blows already. They took some lumps, and now they're like, okay, you know what? Let's just expand and chill for a bit. So it looks like a couple of siege tanks out now Just chilling at the front with some Marine medevac support. Still a relatively low Marine count if you look at that. If you just compare that to Skyhigh's ball of Marines, Skyhigh had the extra reactors on his barracks more quickly than C did, so his Marine count is way higher, but he doesn't really have the support units, which is why I thought he was in a bit of trouble earlier, because, you know, he had a lot of Marines, but not much else, so I thought the siege tanks would just own him up, but I forgot they're not Brood War siege tanks. They're not quite as scary as the Brood War siege tanks. And meanwhile, it looks like Skyhigh is going to go and try and do to C what C did to him. You know, siege up on this low ground and then elevator into high ground. But C, very smartly, has actually left a siege tank and a missile turret exactly where that attack would come. But it looks like it's just not nearly enough here. Double medevac going in here, dropping. Looks like he accidentally loads everything into one of the medevacs. Has to re-unload here. He's actually going to kill the engineering bay of C, and C's got a couple of medevacs with a bunch of Marines. He does a big stim here, but Skyhigh pulls back. He's now in range of the siege tank. C's Marines taking a lot of damage. C, I think he should be pulling back his own siege tanks. Yes, he is, but it looks like, oh my god, he's out of position, and Skyhigh's Marines snipe C's siege tanks, and the rest of C's Marines get taken down by Skyhigh's siege tanks. C is now the one who is in a lot of trouble here. These Marines going to start taking down some barracks, but no, it looks like C did a counterattack at the natural expansion. His medevac gets taken down. The Marines is going to try and do as much damage as they can before getting taken down. A crazy game, a crazy TVT here in set 1. I gotta say, I'm actually a lot happier, a lot more impressed by the level of play here than yesterday's. I mean, even though a slightly strange opening build order by Skyhigh, it has turned into a really cool game. Anyway, looks like C still with his 3 bases. Skyhigh, I think his 3rd base is finished now. It doesn't look like he took either of the gases yet. Oh my god, what's going on here? The SCV is coming off, all getting annihilated. Tank Marine against Tank Marine in the middle of the map. It looks like Skyhigh has a little bit more no siege mode for either player, no time to siege, and it looks like C gets completely demolished. He's down to 53 supply against the 138 or something supply for Skyhigh, and C, GG's out of the game. Skyhigh, the TVT specialist from Brood War, showing us a pretty nice TVT in StarCraft 2 as well. And C, unfortunately, now 0-2 in Pro League. Wow. Nice game from Skyhigh. Whew, that was really intense. And, well, CJ is going to go up 1-0 here, so that means that if they win one more game, they will take the series. And that would be all for today, because we only have one series, unlike opening day where we had 4. Anyway, let's move on to the next game. All right. So here we go into set number 5. Is now a must-win situation for Team A, and it looks like they have sent out Jaehoon to take the win for them. And who's his opponent going to be? I have no idea. Alright, so for those of you who aren't familiar with Jaehoon, he actually he originally became famous for bad plays. He was kind of a joke, actually. Basically, there's a very funny, actually I think more than one actually, funny instances of him just doing a recall into nothing. Like, he one time I think he just like recalled Unobserver, and the other time he like recalled onto a cliff so nothing actually appeared. Actually wait, no, that might be the same thing. I think he recalled his army and only Observer appeared because it's a flying unit. But anyway. Somebody in the chat says the VOD for this game is incomplete. Oh, is that what Harm was trying to tell me? Ooh, apparently this VOD is incomplete. That's not good. Does anybody have the full VOD for this match? Oh, that would be sad if we just like can't finish the series because the VOD is messed up. Get the one from Twitch TV. Oh yeah, Ominous restreamed this live. Oh yeah, it might be on his stream. Hold on. Let me look on Ominous's stream. 1 second, guys. Channel was not found. What's Ominous's channel? Not only Ominous, was somebody else restreaming it? If somebody could link me, that would be sick. I'm just like, hold on, I'm actually gonna pause this for a second. Sorry guys, I don't want to like let the VOD go and then we just have to like stop in the middle. That would kind of suck. Yeah. All right. What am I trying to do? So I am looking for a VOD here. What is Ominous? Oh, there it is. Oh, teammate versus CJ. Looks like the recording is up. Excellent. Oh, thank you, Majayun. 119.30. Alright, let me actually do this and it'll pop out. 119.30. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, for the unprofessionalism. I can see it now, the threads about how, oh my god, he had to pause mid-game. What a terrible person. That's alright. I'm not actually a professional. So it's okay. It's okay. On the other hand, the